Gundam.tk presents Full Armor Unicorn Gundam. Hey again everybody, it's Robert184, 2 R's 2 B's from Gundam.tk, which is GundamReviews.net. And after you've seen all these weapons and all the individual parts in both Unicorn and Destroy mode, I'm going to show you how to do the transformation before this whole mobile suit gets put together and starts to get ready for any sort of war you can imagine. I always found the leg transformation to be the trickiest of the bunch. So far what you do is you're just going to open up the thigh here, which is pretty easy, and once you've done that you can stretch this whole thing up and then seal it back into place, which is going to expose green on all four sides, which is looking fantastic. Onto the bottom where you're going to open up these gray parts here, and if you do that on either side, what can happen is you can pull this whole part down and hopefully not dislodge too much armor, and then lock these back into place, which it should expose a little bit there above the ankle. The next part is a little tricky and involves the knee, with you bending this part down, bending this part up, and then just flipping this up towards the thigh. And then after you pull this part actually off, you take this thruster here and slice it downwards, and when you do that you'll notice that this part is going to shoot forward, and it should click into place if you just give it a little bit of a stretch. And then you're going to reattach this part here, and I remember having nothing but trouble. You're going to plug this part in down below, and then there are two tiny little pegs here, and those two tiny little pegs that are green are going to attach onto this green part of the inner frame, hopefully without actually pushing it back inside, and if not, they can just rest nearby. To the feet, where you're going to flip this part up and make it snug there, which is going to look okay. Bring the toes down, and once you've done that then you're supposed to bring this part out and around, which is probably just going to dislodge everything. So you can do that and just twist it, I suppose, on its own. Once you've done that, you bring up these white parts to here and pop down the heel and straighten out the front of the foot. This is how everything should apparently look if you've just looked at the side of the box and then tried to copy it through hook or through crook, just bending those things into place. The first step of transforming the waist is to open up this back part here, and when you do that, if you get the waist armor out of the way, you'll notice that you can pull out these parts here, which is just going to give him a wider stance, and then you lock it back into place if that all goes well, and with just a little bit of patience you can make sure that those hips are lined up so that the hole is going to go back into place. Then when you look at the front here, what you're able to do is pop open either of these and swing them up. This part is very easy to open up here, as is this part here on the back to reveal the thrusters, and then the final step is one you've already seen. The transformation here just involves opening this up and not too much, or you're going to do what I just did there. And with it split apart a little bit here, what you can do is actually twist this part down, which is going to open everything up in place like that and have this gray part exposed, and then you can bring this out and twist this down. For the arm transformation, you just have to hold it down here and pop this part down. You should hear a nice clip. And then once you do that, you can slide this part out. Be a little bit careful because I pulled this whole thing off numerous times. So anyway, then you're going to get that free movement there, so no problem with the arms. For the chest, if you want to transform this, the easiest thing to do is just sort of stretch it out here by getting a grip on all the places where it's supposed to open up, and then with a little bit of patience. There should be a good click sound there once you get it open. That's easy to flip down, and something you never want to really have to do is your modeler's knife or something, just a toothpick, and ever so slightly bring that forward, and once you do that, you'll have these cool looking parts in place. And for the bottom, you can just pop this down with another good click. There's two parts there where it's going to attach, so just attach it to the lower of the two. To transform the backpack, you can just swing these parts forward, which will probably dislodge the beam sabers. And after you've done that for both of them, you can bring it up, twist them around, then bend them all the way up like this. And once you've done that, all you have to do is pop out these thrusters on the side, which is going to reveal that part and the green underneath, as well as flipping up this part. In Unicorn mode, I didn't really line this well, but then again, I don't intend to display it all that much. I did black there, which is a little bit too conspicuous. Maybe a little bit more down on the chin would have helped. And you can see that yellow there is looking pretty poor. But for the transformation, you can pop off these sides and keep them off to the appropriate side. Then you can bend this face mask down and the top of the head up. And when you do that, you're able to slide this whole head forward. So the face is going to come forward along with the head. And then you're able to tuck this part of the mask underneath. And if you've done it right, this should fall down into place quite nicely. And then when you reattach these side parts with just a 180 flip, once you've done that and you open up the unicorn horn, everything's going to look as it should. And once he's all transformed, you can just see that much green even when he's laying down. So stay tuned for the next part where I'll put the mobile suit together and can't wait to see how this green is going to look in both modes. Well, we won't see that much in unicorn mode. And don't forget, all those weapons are going to have to get attached to make it look like the most armed Gundam I think anybody has ever seen. Anyway, everybody, Robert184 Gundam.tk, thanks for checking this out. See you next time, everybody. Bye.